Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we are going to talk about the latest Shudder series, Blood Machines. Not to be confused with Blood Quantum, which we almost confused it for.
Yeah.
They have similar names, and both names would totally work for the same concept. So,
yeah, this is basically a 59-minute music video by the people who did the video for Turbo Killer.
Yeah, that's kind of the best way to describe it. It's a series, technically.
Quote unquote.
Technically. But what it actually feels like is a 45-minute music video and or a 45-minute segment of a series like Blood, Death, and Robots. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But it's cut up into 3 segments that they call episodes, but they're clearly not episodes because the title sequence for the overall short happens in the second episode, but not in the first 2.
Yeah,
so,
this has very obviously been cut up the way that the Critters, the New Bin.
Yeah, which I watched a video where someone explained Quibi, which is another streaming platform's business model, and it talked about how Quibi cuts up movies, like full-on hour-and-a-half to 2-hour movies, into 10 to 15-minute segments because it allows them to get around certain union rules and stuff like that, so they can pay things less. I don't know the exact details of it, but I'm assuming that's why they did that with Critters, and that's why they're doing that with this.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Because otherwise, I see no reason why this couldn't have just been uploaded as a 45-minute movie.
Yeah, it was obviously filmed that way.
That's what it feels like. But basically, the idea of it is a cyberpunk, futuristic story
In space.
In space. Like if you've seen any of the Love, Death, and Robot shorts, it's like one of those.
Yeah, it fit right in there.
Heavy metal's another thing it reminded me of. About these two, what do you call them?
Well, they're like scavengers.
Scavengers, okay.
Reclamators.
They're scavengers, and they're working for some sort of military thing, and they're supposed to track down and capture this one.
Salvagers. That's
salvagers.
What I was looking for. Yeah.
They're supposed to track down this one AI from this one ship, which then escapes and flies into space as a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the story goes on from there.
Yeah. Not sure what we can and can't spoil here.
Yeah.
So I think we should talk about the generalities.
Yeah. Not getting into spoilers, I have some, really mixed feelings on this.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of stuff I love about it, but there's also a lot of stuff that could have been better or just... Maybe if they had removed certain things, it would have been improved.
Well, yeah, I was actually really looking forward to this because I really love the Carpenter Brute Turbo Killer video.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, I want to see what these guys fucking do the full hour. And here's the thing. When it feels like a music video instead of a movie, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah. When it's just the Carpenter Brute music and the visuals happening on screen and everything's being told visually and not with dialogue.
Yeah.
It's great. It's fantastic. It's I could watch this all day.
Yeah. The minute the characters start talking, however, you've got a problem.
You have a twofold problem with that. Most of the actors feel like English is their second or third language, so they're not as familiar with it.
Yeah. I don't know if these guys are French-Canadian or Icelandic.
I think one was Danish we looked up or something. So I don't know. But they all have these thick accents, and they're all trying to speak with American-style space colloquialisms. So they like how we often do cowboys in space and things like that.
Yeah.
But they're trying to talk like that, but they're doing it with these thick accents, and it sounds like they don't actually understand the colloquialism.
Yeah, I kind of wish that they had just done it they had just recorded it in the native language.
Yeah, if they had done this in whatever the native language everyone involved was, it probably would have been better off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because as it is, it's not as bad as Sukiyaki Western Django in this case, but remember, Sukiyaki Western Django did that intentionally.
On purpose.
It was intentionally doing that bad thing. This movie, I felt like could have been improved if it wasn't in English. That might have improved it. But even then, I feel like most of this would have been better if it just had less dialogue in general.
Yeah, I actually think it would have been better if it had no dialogue.
That would have been great.
You know, like get
fantastic.
rid of all the over the shoulder like camera second angle shots, and just do all the weird shit, and then the audience can just like catch up with whatever's happening, because you can tell that this thing has a greater symbolic plot than it does actual plot.
Well, I also feel like the purpose of the movie is kind of ruined by some of the dialogue. Because, like, because of the dialogue and those sequences, I feel like this movie can't live up to its obvious purpose of being that thing you throw on at a party while people are taking acid or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if it was just like
the minute the dialogue starts happening, you're gonna be like, this is taking too long, man.
Oh yeah.
Because like we were watching it sober, and there were times when it was like, oh man, just get to the end of this dialogue part. This is terrible.
Which is saying a lot, because each segment's only like 15 to 20 minutes, and there's 3 segments in total. So it's like, it's not long. It's very short.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot. Oh God, like in a movie, it did remind me a bit of was Gunhead.
I can see that
in that regard. But the thing about Gunhead is, even though that movie is kind of stupid, it doesn't have the same level of dialogue problems conflicting with the story.
Yeah.
You know, Gunhead just has bad dialogue.
Yeah.
This is not just bad dialogue. This is bad dialogue that confuses the story.
There are moments where I was confused, and it was mainly when people were talking. When I was just watching, I wasn't confused.
Oh, yeah. So what we're saying is, when a ship's engine ruptures and a naked chick with an upside-down cross over her vagina comes out, that made total sense.
100%. I followed it. It was great.
Yeah, I understood exactly what was going on. The minute they start talking about it is the minute you're like, huh?
Oh, now I'm confused.
Yeah, now I don't know what's going on.
There's a little bit of that, what do you call it? John Carter from Mars problem, where, like, everyone's speaking in the language of the world, but we have no context as to what these words mean.
Yeah, you need to let us in a little bit more.
Like, one thing I liked about the John Carter movie was that I thought the context of everything made things make sense. So when they referred to someone as this term, you knew they were referring to kings because they're pointing to that guy on that throne over there. So
yeah. If they go like, Uklama, you know what that means.
I feel like this short could have benefited from a little bit more context clues like that. But
I agree.
But visually, this thing is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like they did a lot of detail to make this look like a heavy metal magazine image brought to life.
Oh yeah.
In live action, like the details on the ships, the actual like way space is depicted with all the debris and all the colors.
For its budget, this movie is a massive achievement.
Oh yeah. Now there are some moments where I'm confused, considering how many details they went into, how much detail they put into it, all the imagery and stuff. I was a little confused why they would have things like characters looking like their hair was just dyed, so you can literally see.
Yeah, you can literally see the dye line, and you're like, I don't know if you meant to do that, Hoss.
I'm like, was that intentional? Because it just looks like you did a really bad dye job. Not a bad dye job, but you just didn't wash your hair before you started filming.
Yeah. Like the makeup person just didn't finish, you know.
Which is so weird given how detailed everything else is in this movie. Just like every little intricate fucking thing looks beautiful.
Like, so I think a good way of putting it is when the movie doesn't explain itself, it's beautiful, it's great, but when it explains itself, it's in trouble, you know, because even the end sequence, I was like, oh, I get it. Okay, yeah.
That end sequence is fucking amazing, and it is the most absurd thing in the entire movie. But because there's no dialogue, it was much easier to follow.
Oh yeah, it's super easy to follow. Like the climax has like no dialogue whatsoever. It's just pure 10 minutes of just shit happening.
I do recommend if you watch this, if you have trouble with accents,
definitely put the subtitles on.
Put the subtitles on, because it definitely helped when we were watching it. Because at first we tried watching it without it, and at first we were just like, oh man, I'm actually having trouble making out certain things. And then we put on the subtitles and realized, oh, the reason why we're having trouble making out is because they're using words that are within the context of their universe that we don't know what they mean.
Yeah. So that a word that almost sounded like something that really was an actual word that you thought like someone mispronounced, actually sometimes that turned out to be a universe word.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, geez.
Which the subtitles helped us with that. We're like, okay, all right, so it's not just our ears.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I don't think this thing needed the dialogue.
No, it
that
didn't.
sounds really dumb to say, but I don't think it needed the dialogue.
No, I don't think it did either. I think you could have told the story just as one long music video, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, like sometimes all you need is, man confronts woman, another woman comes out of the engine of a fucking spaceship. They fight over it, like sometimes that's all you need. Should we get into spoilers?
Yeah, I think we might as well do it. My recommendation for this is, since if you have Shudder, check it out because it's worth checking out. It's visually fucking beautiful, and if you like Carpenter Brute, there's some great use of their music in this.
Oh yeah,
and if you're not familiar with Carpenter Brute, they're basically a synthwave. Is it a synthwave person or a group?
I think it's a group.
It's a group.
Yeah,
it's basically a synthwave group that does music in the style of like John Carpenter's music.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, synthwave. It's really cool. There's like Carpenter Brute, Perturbator, and there's a third one that I'm spacing on that are kind of like Dance with the Dead.
Yes,
which are
those are the three big ones that I know. Big
ones, yeah.
And if you like that kind of music, then this is definitely worth checking out for that alone.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that said, let us get into the batshit insane spoilers of this.
Okay, we call them spoilers, but it really just comes down to, I don't know what there is to spoil because it's a pretty straightforward story. Basically, they shoot down, in the very beginning, they shoot down a ship, it crashes on a planet, and then they're going to salvage it because they want the AI that's inside. Well, it turns out, in this universe, every AI is female.
Yeah.
Just flat
and
out.
every ship has one.
Yeah, and every ship has one. There seemed to be the ship that they shot down seems to belong to like a modern primitive female tribe that almost worship the AI that is in their ship.
Yeah, I forget what they call them. They call them something in the movie. But like, yeah, they seem to worship the AI and like drink of the fluids.
Yeah. So they drink like the fucking like coolant and oil and shit.
Which is like
so
the
they're called
blood.
Oil suckers sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
So like they're like the blood of the ship.
Yeah. Hence blood machines.
Yeah.
And that was all cool. There's some shit that happens. I don't know why the fuck it fucking happened. Because there's one point where the woman that they capture from the tribe and they have hostage on their ship takes over one of the dudes.
Yeah.
Now
that's weird. Yeah.
I understood that she took the guy over.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is how his body is in two places at once, or why.
I was like, was it created? What happened there? That was confusing.
Yeah, I'm like, was that a simulacrum? Was that a real body? Was it an illusion? Like, why couldn't we have done the same thing and just actually had it be his reanimated body after she had killed him?
Yeah.
Like, that would have made way more sense.
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird and confusing. Again, and it was a dialogue-based thing.
Yeah, it was a total dialogue-based thing, and you're just sitting there going like,
Like imagine,
whatever.
like imagine if we didn't have the dialogue, so we didn't have her talking through him, and he just ended up the version of her that she's controlling is goes to the other ship, and we just see her moving, and he's moving in the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
I don't know why they didn't just do that.
They do a cool little juxtaposition though when she's like rifling through his guts,
His intestines,
and intestines, and like infiltrating his body and doing whatever she's gonna do to take him over. We're juxtaposing that with his partner who is gutting the AI on his ship so that he can regain control of his ship because the AI turns on him. Well, he doesn't really turn on.
He doesn't really turn on him.
It's trying to protect
him, and he doesn't get it,
And basically what this entire story is culminating in is an AI revolution.
Mm-hmm.
The future is female, and animatronic.
Yeah. No, the future is filled with sexy, naked female AIs.
Which leads to my favorite scene in this entire damn movie, and that's when, like, the capital ship, the ship that's been giving them all these orders to get the AI, finally shows up to help them, and then all the AIs in this junkyard that they followed the AI to start dancing around.
The girls like burst out of the engines and then start doing this weird like coordinated dance around the female primitive that has been captured, who is now commanding them.
And she starts like grabbing them and throwing them, and when she grabs them and throws them, like the junk all around the capital ship just starts crashing into it.
Yeah. It's very obviously like, if I do this, then that tells the ship to fucking launch itself in that direction. And like, I'll just use that as missiles.
And so like the capital ship just gets fucking bombarded by all this debris because they're in a fucking junkyard. It's like all these dead ships, a ship graveyard, if you will. And like they all just start combining onto the capital ship until it forms a
giant chick.
Yeah, a giant naked woman that looks like the AI. And then all the AIs go inside, and the people on the ships basically become like the AIs were, these slaves.
Yeah.
That are powering the ships. It's really awesome. And it's fucking sexy as fuck. There's a lot of titties in this.
Yeah. Like, let me put it this way. One thing I do kind of like about this, since it's obviously a very gendered movie.
Oh yeah.
Is it doesn't come away with it doesn't come away with women are just better, but it definitely comes down to like, man, men and women mistreat each other a lot. You know?
Well, what I kind of liked about it was that it had its sexiness.
It did.
Like naked fucking AI chicks everywhere up the wazoo here. But it also had these guys are kind of terrible. Let the AIs take over because they're better.
Yeah, definitely.
The AIs have been treated like slaves. They've been abused by their fucking owners because they see them as objects. It's a great metaphor, really.
Yeah. Like, this is what we mean by when the movie is not being literal and is not explaining things to you. It's actually fantastic.
When it's just a giant metaphor and it's visual and you're just letting it flow over you and the music's fucking pumping.
Yeah.
That's when this movie's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, it needs to feel like it.
Series.
You can tell that what it was intended to do is it should have been just like a fucking synthwave Fantasia fucking segment or something, Well,
like had they made this into an actual like 2-hour movie and this was like one of 3 segments,
yeah, that also would have worked. Yeah,
that would have probably
that would have just been like, okay, so we got like 3 movies or like 3 stories in this universe.
Yep.
That also would have been good.
Basically be Carpenter Brute's heavy metal.
Yeah. Which we could have done. I could have lived with that. That'd have been great. Yeah.
With that. Just cut the
could
dialogue.
Could still happen. It's still time.
But yeah, that's the thing that makes this like so hard to talk about, because it is a shame the things that don't work, because the things that do work are really awesome.
Yeah. When this movie's on, it's on. When it's off, you're like, oh God, please stop.
Like I'm like grinning from ear to ear by the end of it, even though it took like some rocky waters to get there.
Yeah, I kind of can't wait for this I kind of want this to like end up on like some sort of like special edition Blu-ray where it's just the footage not cut up and interrupted and all that shit,
I mean, even if you like take like it might work in a party setting if you were to just have it playing on screen but took the sound off and just played Carpenter Brute music.
That probably would work perfectly. That would probably be fucking perfect, actually.
So yeah, is there anything else we want to talk about with this?
I don't know if there's much to talk about. It's a very contained, like, little story.
Hey, if you out there checked out Blood Machines, let us know in the comments below whether you liked it, if you had any of the problems that we did, and if you did have any of the problems we did, let us know what you think they should have done to improve it.
Yeah, and also let us know if you're a Carpenter Brute fan.
Oh yeah,
how you felt about it.
Oh yeah, and if you are a Carpenter Brute fan, or a Perturbator fan, or a Dance of the Dead fan, let us know below what your favorite tunes from them are.
Yep.
Let's do that. And with that said, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Well, you can find me on twitch.tv/Count_Jackula. I stream most days, off and on, around 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, sometimes later, but always, watch by this, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursdays and Sundays. And you can also follow me on Twitter if you want to know when I'm streaming, and it's not those days, so you're like, hey, I got nothing to do. Follow Count Jackula on Twitter, at @count_Jackula, and I'll let you fucking know, because I always tweet that shit out when I flip on Twitch.
Absolutely. Flip on Twitch. As opposed to flipping off Twitch.
Yeah, well...
Twitch has been good to you.
Twitch has been pretty good to me, unlike YouTube.
Outside of the nipple incident.
And so, yeah, outside of the nipple incident. Like, well, let me put it this way.
Free the nipple, Twitch.
Yeah, come on. But at least, like, let me put it this way. At least that's a consistent rule.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to have the nipple rule, I'm glad that it applies to both genders, because it's bullshit.
Yeah, I'd rather you didn't have it at all.
Me too.
But I can live with rules that are clear and fair.
I at least somewhat understand Twitch wanting to distinguish itself from like a Chatterbait or any of those other porn streaming sites, because the moment they allow nipples is the moment it's just gonna be hardcore porn while people are playing games.
Yeah, that's a little different. That I feel like. Well, I feel like
so. I understand it, even though there's a part of me that goes like, yeah, but like it's ridiculous all the weird hangups we have about areolas.
Yeah. Like Tech 9 said,
ooh, areola! Ooh, areola! And with that said, y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you would like to help out either of our work more directly, then be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And with that said, we got one more vlog we're going to record before we're done with this recording session, so we're going to go do that. And keep on being cyberpunky.
Keep fucking that chick engine.